Is there a way to easily record, edit, and share a video really easily, simply, and for free on YouTube? Keep watching to find out. Hello, my friends. Welcome to EdTech with Adam. And today we're kicking things off with another series, this time on apps that can help us record, edit, and share videos for our online or blended classrooms. And we're going to be starting off with YouTube. As everyone knows, YouTube is free to use and it has some very interesting, simple features that are really great for people who are just starting getting into recording videos, maybe for their lectures, or maybe even getting their students to record things for presentations and whatnot. As always, here's the table with all the information about YouTube. If you want, you can pause the video right now and just take a look at it to see what you can expect from this video. And we'll go over it once again at the very end just to cover all the loose ends. So we're going to start off by using the mobile app here. And as you can see, it's very simple. Once you open up the mobile app, you click on the recording camera button at the top. And then once you get the next screen, you'll have the option to click on record. So what we're going to do is just click on record here and record a quick video. And I'm not going to show you all of it, but I'll just show you a little bit of what that looks like. Hello, everyone. I want to tell you about camping in Winnipeg. All right, so I've recorded the video. After you're done and you confirm that you like the video, it'll bring you onto this next screen. Now, on the mobile version, you can cut the beginning and the end. So if you don't like what happened in the beginning, like I showed you in this video, or you don't like something that happened in the end, you can cut down the video very easily right from your phone. And then you can go into YouTube, and when you're uploading, you can choose whether it's private, meaning you're the only one who will see it, or you can upload it as a public video, meaning everyone can see it, or you can upload it as an unlisted video. And unlisted is really ideal, I think, for most of us, because it means if we share the video URL link with our students, they can view it, but people can't just search for it randomly on the YouTube search function. So I'm going to go and just make this into a private video, and I'm going to upload it here. Now, that's as far as we can go on the mobile-facing side. However, if we go onto our desktop or laptop, we can continue editing our video with a few more cool features. So let's get right into it. I can see here on my studio page, I have the video right at the top, and all I need to do is click on the picture of myself here. And after I click on the thumbnail, it opens up this video details screen. And from here, what we're going to do is click on editor. So this is going to bring us to the editor screen. Now from here, we can cut or trim the video, except we have a few more features that will allow us to cut in the middle as well, in addition to being able to just cut from either end. And we'll be able to add music. We can also add things like ending screens for maybe forwarding our students to other videos at the end of our video. And finally, another really cool feature that was introduced rather recently, which is the blurring tool, which was mostly introduced for people in, for example, the Black Lives Matter protests who want to perhaps share videos but blur people's faces so that they don't get in trouble with law enforcement. And in this case, you can also do this because for schools, when we're releasing videos, it's very important for us to protect the privacy of our students, and this will allow us to do that. And I'll show you how to use that in just a little bit too. Now, as we go through these features, I'm going to be saving after each one. And because this is an online editing platform, it's going to take a long time to save and process. Sometimes it can be 5 to 10 minutes. If it's a long video, like a 10-20 minute video, it could be hours that you're waiting for it to process. So that's the downside. The upside is that because it's all done online, even if you have a very, very weak computer, or, there are a lot of students who are in situations where they don't have access to modern computer technology. They might have something very old. But with this online processing function, it makes it so that it doesn't matter what kind of tech you have at home. It takes care of all of it online at the cost of it being a little bit lengthy and a little long to process. So let's start with trimming. It's very easy. Our most important thing to keep in mind when we're trimming is this little slide bar here. And if we want to hear what we said at any particular point in the video, you drag the slide bar to that place and press the space bar.
Hello everyone.
And then press the space bar again to stop it from playing. Now, I remembered that I made a mistake in the beginning here, and I'd like to trim that out. So very simply, and you can see here also, a cool way to see where you're kind of doing stuff in the video is to look for breaks in the audio. And what I usually do is when I make a mistake, I stop for a few seconds, take a breath, and that gives me an opportunity to easily see later on where I made a mistake so I can cut it. So I'm going to bring this slider to the beginning. I'm going to click on trim. And you can see when you click on trim, you get two things. First of all, you get the blue border surrounding your footage. And also you get this little window at the bottom, kind of a little a frame that has a few more options. And we're going to be using the split option here to split our video a bit. So I'm going to bring this thing, the slider. Now I can slide it. I can also click above the timeline to bring the slider there. And once I find the place that I want to cut it, I'm going to click on split. And what happens is you can see it loads this extra kind of blue vertical line here. And what we're going to do is what we want to get rid of from the clip, we're going to click on this and drag it over top of the part we want to delete. So what you can remember easily here is that the dark space, the kind of shaded space here, is the space that's going to be deleted. So I remembered I made a mistake there, and I think I also made a mistake somewhere near the end here. And just to save time, let's say it was around here. I'm going to go back and press split again. I'm going to grab onto this vertical bar and I'm going to cut this part here. Okay, so now that I'm done here, I'm going to click on preview, and preview is going to let me see what it looks like when it's been split here. So if I bring the scroll slider bar here and then click on spacebar,
really great place to go. All right, that
you see it jumped over that section. So it's very useful for editing those little bits there. Very simple. Now I want to get this kind of processing. And like I said, before I show you the next step, which is music, I'm going to let it process. And I'm going to be back in about 5 or 10 minutes, but I'm going to jump it ahead for you right here so you're not waiting along with me. So I'm going to click on save. And it tells you right here it's going to take quite a while. I'm going to click save. And I'll see you in a sec. All right, we're back. And as you can see here, the video is shorter. It has been trimmed. So now if we go back and we play the video,
about camping in Vancouver,
we can see that it got clipped in the parts that I want it to be clipped at. So now I'm starting a little bit later after I made the screw up in my video. And same in the end, the ending part was removed there. So that's really great for me to be able to edit this online. Again, no extra recording or editing tools necessary here. Now the next thing we're going to do is go on to the audio. So for the audio, we're going to click on this little downward arrow here and it'll give us an audio option. It says plus audio. So if we click on this, it's going to bring us to another screen. Now from here,
hello everyone.
We can select one of the audio tunes from YouTube's library. Now this library is all full of free music that you can use without worrying about copyright or anything like that. And there's a lot of really great stuff here. So feel free to pick the music that you feel suits perhaps the mood of your video. And what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to choose a random one. I don't know, Song of Sadhana. That sounds good. Let's take that. I'm going to click add to video. Now notice here that suddenly the sound is not playing. My voice is not audible. And the reason for that is this slider bar on the right side here. So we have a couple options. We can either have only the music and erase what we said, which probably is not what we're going to use if we're using it for lectures or classes. If we scroll it all the way to the other side,
hello everyone. Hello everyone. I want to tell you
in this version, now you can hear my voice and you can hear the music. Now, originally there was also an option in the middle that was equal.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone.
And
want to
I
tell
find just from my personal experiences since they updated this sound feature that it isn't really that different from the Favor original audio. I usually just keep it here because
Hello everyone.
I want to be able to
tell
hear
you
my
about
voice. I
camping.
want to be able to have my lecture communicated to my students, of course. So that's what I'm going to do here. I selected the music. I've selected Favor Original Audio in the slider, and it's very important we do that. Now I'm going to click on Save Changes again, and once again, we're going to have to wait, again, probably 5 or 10 minutes for this short video for the music to be added and overlaid over top of the original video. So I'll see you in just a bit. All right, so we've jumped ahead here, and now if we play our video, we can see that we also have music in the background.
Hello everyone. I want to tell you about camping in Vancouver. Well, if you want...
Okay, so let's move on to the next thing here. Now, the next part is having end screens and things like that. Now, this is something that we can do from the main video screen where we can look at all of our videos. So we're not going to look at that in this editor screen. All right, it's time to move on to the last feature here, which is the blurring feature. And you might notice that the light is a little different here. It's actually the next day. I've spent quite a long time, probably 3 or 4 hours recording this video because every time I make a change or do something, it takes quite a long time. And in some cases, even last night, it was taking up to 1 hour for some of the processing to happen in this video editing. So one really important thing about the blurring tool is that unfortunately, it cannot be used together with the trimming and music adding tool. And even though there is an option to trim even within the blurring tool, that also doesn't work. And as you can see, when you try to do blurring and trimming, you get this error message here. And unfortunately, because of this, I actually had to go in and revert to the original video so that I can just use the blurring only on this video. So that means that if you want to use blurring and trimming, you won't be able to do that in YouTube Studio. You can do one or the other. And that makes it really unfortunate, but that just happens to be the way it is. So let's explore a little bit about how this blurring works. So to do that, in the last row here, there's a button that says Add Blur. We're going to click on this, and it's going to open up a new window for us. Now, there are 2 types of blurring. So probably the best one that I like is the blurring faces feature, because this one automatically tracks the faces and also allows you to pick out individual faces. So let's give that a try. We'll click on Edit here. And what it does is it's taking a moment just to discover the faces that are in this video. Okay, so a few minutes later, and it has recognized the faces. And the cool thing here is if you want to have your face revealed, but hide the faces of your students, or if there are certain students that are uncomfortable with having their faces appearing in the videos, this is a really great facial recognition tool that allows you to really pick out which face. Of course, in this video, there is only my face. So I'm gonna click on my face here and we'll see what happens. All right, so now you can see my face is blurred in this video, and it tracks my face as it moves around.
Hello everyone.
It's a very useful tool, and if we want to keep that, we'll click on Save here. And what will happen is you'll get this little box that says Applied. Now, we can also undo this by clicking on this once again. Now, let's try the other option, which is custom blurring. Now, for this one, it's going to let you choose where to blur in the video with a few pretty cool features. So let's click on Edit here. Now, for this one, what we'll need to do is click somewhere on the screen, which will make a little box. Now, with this box, we can move it anywhere we want. And I can take this and highlight it over my face. Now there's a couple cool little options for this box. One of them here, which is on by default, is a lock, which means it will recognize what's in that box, whether it's a person or an object. And this is a cool distinction from the previous feature because the previous one only does faces. This one can also capture objects. So for example, if there's something on a t-shirt that you don't want other people to see, or there's an object in the scene, and the scene is moving around, but you want it to track that object, you would use it on the default lock feature. So if I click on Done here, can you see how it's tracking along that box?
Hello, everyone.
So that's very useful for being able to do that. But of course, we can also turn off the tracking, which means the box will stay stationary in the middle. So let's go back. We're going to click on reconfigure here. And now I'm going to click on the lock little button here, and that's going to unlock it. So now it's unlocked, and I can move this box anywhere, and this box is going to stay there. It's not going to track objects. It's not going to track a face. And this could have its uses as well for something that you might want to do in your class. So let's save this and see what it looks like. So you can see here it's not tracking my face. You saw my face kind of leaving the area of the box there. But again, this could have its uses. So I'm actually going to deselect this. I want the blurred faces feature because I think that one is a little better. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to click save. And once I'm done, I'm going to want to save it. And again, this is going to take anywhere from maybe 5, 10, 30 minutes, even an hour to do. So I'll see you in a moment. All right, so 15 minutes later, we're back here. As you can see, the blurring has taken effect. And you also can see that we got this message again saying that we cannot trim and blur at the same time. And you can also see here that the trimming feature it no longer is blue, so we can't do that. So if you blur, it actually does that properly. If you trim first, it actually still lets you blur it, but then it's not going to let you save it, which is unfortunate. So let's take a look at what the video looks like.
Hello everyone. I want to tell you about camping.
Excellent. So as you can see, it's blurred out nicely. And that's it. Those are all the things we can do in the YouTube Studio Editor. And like I mentioned, it's pretty simple. It's probably one of the simplest ways for us to be able to record, edit, and also share. And of course, sharing is really where YouTube is most powerful because it is one of the world's largest sharing platforms. Even though we can trim and add music and blur, we still face the issue that we can't do all of these things at once. Let's take another look at the table just to see some of the things here that we didn't really talk too much in depth about. So first of all, what about screencasting? Yes, we can screencast from our desktop, but one of the things with that is it means it's a live streamcast, and it's a little bit difficult to really toggle who can see it and who can't see it. So you might get some random people joining for your class lecture, which wouldn't be very good. But one really big caveat here is that we need another program in order to screencast to YouTube from our desktop. So this isn't really something that a lot of teachers are really going to want to do because that is a whole lot more work. In terms of classroom management, we can't really organize our classes or the contents to be delivered to our classes in a specific way in YouTube. We can of course take the links and post them in our learning management systems, but we aren't actually able to really manage how the information is distributed within your classroom and how your students interact with it. Unfortunately, even though YouTube is one of the most popular video sharing platforms in the world, it is neither FIPA nor FERPA compliant. Now, despite this, I know that thousands, probably tens of thousands of teachers around the world are using YouTube. And you know, that's probably fine in terms of making lectures. Again, keeping in mind that there are some regulations about the intellectual property of educators belonging to the institutions and school districts that they belong to. But other than that, you know, there are still people doing it. Just be careful in terms of how you make stuff and share it on YouTube. YouTube, like almost everything else in the Google suite, is compatible with pretty much every learning management system by the very virtue of the fact that you can take a link and paste it almost anywhere and you'll get that video pop up in your learning management system. So it's very useful, very handy for just being able to really make a resource available anywhere you want. Finally, and maybe in some cases, the most importantly, YouTube is free for teachers, for students, really for anyone to use. This makes YouTube really good because it's accessible and it's simple. So in this case, it really works well if we're trying to cater to either educators or to students who might not have access to, for example, the best quality technology or the best internet access. YouTube is very forgiving in that sense. Actually, something we didn't talk about is how if you upload a video to YouTube and someone with a really poor quality internet connection tries to view that video, YouTube will automatically downgrade the quality of the video so that the video loads faster. And that's something we don't see in any other platform. So in terms of accessibility, YouTube is very, very good. So that's it for this video. I'm going to be comparing a whole bunch more different video recording, editing, and sharing platforms in the next few days here. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know down in the comments section below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this if your colleagues are also searching for this kind of video recording and editing and sharing platform. And as always, I'm Adam, your personal EdTech specialist, and stay healthy.